Hello and welcome back. I hope you're having a good day so far. So we're just going to do what we always do and we'll forget about everything else for the next 20 minutes, just a little bit of time out for you on the mat, moving your body and hopefully feeling much better by the end of the class. So we're going to start with some deep breaths, taking a big deep breath in through the nose and out through the mouth. And we're just really trying to ground ourselves here. So in through the nose again and out through the mouth. And once more, in through the nose and out through the mouth. Really finish that breath. Lovely. And from here, we're just going to come into a little bit of mobility work. So we're going to start by just dropping the head down to the shoulder, just feeling a little bit of a stretch through the neck. Breathing in to return and exhaling to the other side. And then back to center. I'm just going to do a few shoulder rolls here, so bringing the shoulders up, back and down. And we're just starting at the top of the head, basically working our way down as we just ease up through the body, getting everything moving, ready for a little bit of exercise. And then just bringing the shoulders back down. And then we're going to reach one hand up overhead, and we're just going to walk fingertips out on the mat, really thinking about keeping this hip anchored down, so we're feeling that stretch through the side of the body. Breathing in to uncurl, reaching up and exhaling to the other side. And again, really thinking about keeping this hip anchored down so we feel that stretch through the side of the body. And uncurling. We're going to clasp our hands to the front. I'm just going to turn to the side to demonstrate. So we're going to pull the arms away from the body, tucking the chin down, really thinking about feeling a stretch through the shoulder blades, through the upper back. And then we're going to open the arms out, squeezing the shoulder blades together, lifting the gaze up, arching at the lower back as well. And then bringing it back to the front. And this time we're going to really think about pulling through at the spine. So we're really trying to create a nice C-curve through the spine. So we're pulling the tummy back and creating a nice C through the whole body here. And then opening up, squeezing the shoulder blades back. Again, this time really arching through the lower back as we squeeze the shoulders, lift the head up. And then bringing it back down to the centre. We're going to come down onto hands and knees from here. So we're going to have our hands directly under our shoulders and knees directly under our hips. And we're going to start off with a few cat-cows from here. So we're going to let the belly drop down towards the floor, lifting the tailbone up, and the gaze is going to lift too. So we're really arching through the back. And then we're slowly tucking the pelvis under, rounding through the back, this time dropping the gaze down, stretching through the lower back. And then going the other way, so dropping the belly down, lifting the gaze, stretching through the back, tucking the chin down, rounding through the spine, as if you're trying to lift your spine up towards the ceiling, and then bringing it back to a nice neutral position. Lovely. And then from here, we're going to think about just tucking the ribcage down ever so slightly towards the ribs, so we're just closing this gap, so we're trying to create a nice neutral spine, and our back is nice and flat. We're going to breathe in to prepare, and as we exhale, we're going to reach one hand forward, and we're aiming to get it about shoulder height. Doesn't matter if it's not quite there, but we don't want it to go much higher because we're trying not to let the body move. Movement is only coming from the arm here. And the same to the other side, so exhaling, lifting that arm, reaching fingertips forward, bringing it back. And this time we're going to go to one of the legs. So we're going to extend one leg back, reaching the toes towards that back wall. Again, aiming for about hip height. You can aim for shoulder height. That's kind of the same thing. You're creating a nice straight line. And then bringing that knee back down. And then the same to the other side, reaching the toes back. Trying to keep the back nice and still so the movement's only coming from the leg. Lovely, and now we're going to put that together. So we're going to do opposite arm, opposite leg. So we're going to reach one hand forward, the other leg reaches back. You're really reaching through the body, trying to create a nice straight line from fingertips through your whole back, right down to your toe. We're just going to hold that for a few seconds, trying not to let the back arch, but keeping nice and still through your centre. Breathing in to bring it back. And the same to the other side, reaching fingertips and toes, trying to create this nice straight line. Breathing in. So we're going to hold it for a few seconds. So really thinking about trying to be strong and stable through the supporting arm and the supporting leg. And then bringing it back. And we'll do one more each side here. So we're reaching through fingers and toes, really thinking about trying to create as much length as possible. So you're really reaching through fingers as if you're trying to reach the opposite walls. And this will help to keep your core nice and stable. As we're working on a little bit of core strength here and a little bit of stability around the lower back as well. And then bringing it back. Lovely. And we're just going to sit the hips back and come into a little child's pose from here. If this isn't good on your knees, though, you can keep your hips lifted up and just walk your hands forward. But otherwise, we're going to walk right back, letting the hips sink down onto the feet, stretching through, letting the body collapse down onto the floor, and feeling that nice stretch through the lower back. And then just going to add in a little bit of a side stretch here as well. So just walking the hands over to one side of the mat, feeling that stretch through the side of the body. Letting the back melt down into the floor. And then walking over to the other side. Really trying to breathe deeply into the stretch. And then bringing it back to the centre. Lovely. And then from here, we're just going to pull ourselves back up into 4-point kneeling. And we're going to just walk our feet back and we're going to drop ourselves down onto the floor. When I say drop down, I mean, slow and controlled, lowering yourself as opposed to flopping. And we're going to take our hands directly under our shoulders from here. And our feet are about hip width apart. And the head is just resting on the floor to begin with. So we're going to come into a little mini cobra from here. So we're really thinking about pushing the hands into the floor. Elbows are tucked in by our waist, and we're going to slowly lift our head and chest away from the mat. So you don't need to come up that high in this one. We're really thinking about trying to create a nice extension through the back here. So we're lifting up, stretching through, and then we're lowering back down. And we're going to go again. So pushing the hands into the floor, keeping the elbows tucked in, lifting the head and the chest away from the floor, squeezing the shoulder blades down. We're just easing into the back here. We quite often spend a lot of time hunched over, especially if we sit at a desk all day. So we're just trying to counter that by doing the exact opposite movement. Stretching through the back and trying to get all those muscles to fire up. And then lowering back down. Lovely. And then from here, we're going to take our arms out to the sides in that capital T position. And we're going to do a similar exercise here. So we're going to lift the head, the chest, and the arms away from the floor. So we're coming up into a little bit of an extension here. And you should feel a little bit of this through your lower back as well as through your shoulders. So we're doing a little bit of both with this exercise. We're trying to strengthen the whole back of the body here. Breathing out, lifting up. Breathing in to return. And once more, lifting up. Squeezing the shoulder blades together. Feeling that nice contraction through the lower back as well. So we're strengthening all the muscles around the posture, around the back. And then lowering back down onto the floor. And then from here, we're going to just bring our arms down by our sides again. And we're going to just push ourselves back up into 4-point kneeling. And sitting your hips back again into that little child's pose. Again, if this isn't comfortable on your knees, keep your hips elevated and just sinking down. And then rolling, we're going to roll back up from here. So I want you to think about lifting your hips first. So we're lifting up, we're rounding through the back. A little bit like those cat-cows that we did in the beginning until we come back into that nice neutral position. And then we're going to do the opposite. So we're going to sit the hips back, trying to round through the spine here as we go. So we're really trying to get lots of movement through the spine. So we're not just sitting back, but we're trying to roll, creating a really nice curve through the back, sitting down. And once more, rolling up through the spine. Bringing it into a nice neutral position. And then we're just going to lower ourselves back down onto the floor from here. And we're going to roll over onto our back. And fall off the mat. Okay, and from here, we're going to have our feet flat on the floor. And our hands are down by our sides. And we're going to come into a little bridge from here. So we're thinking about pushing the lower back into the floor first. So we're really flattening the back down. This is going to naturally tilt your pelvis. And then we're going to slowly lift those hips up. So we're coming up into a bridge from here. And thinking about rolling through the spine. So you're peeling your spine away from the mat. Really trying to get that movement through the spine as opposed to just lifting your hips up. We're just going to hold for a few seconds in that top position. Thinking about squeezing with the glutes, the back of the legs. And then we're going to roll back down. So again, really trying to use your back muscles and your spine here to roll as you come back down to that neutral position. That's it. And we're going to go again. So really push the spine down first. That will naturally tilt the pelvis. And then we're slowly lifting the hips up. Coming up into try and create a nice straight line between knees, hips and shoulders. Now you can also take your arms away for this one, so you can cross them across your chest. And this just brings in a little bit of a stability challenge. Makes your body work a little bit harder to keep you nice and controlled. Or you could also bring your arms up overhead as your hips lift, reaching fingertips towards the top of the mat. And then slowly lowering both back down together. And once more, rolling up through the spine. Again, you can keep your arms down if this feels like too much, or if you'd like to just concentrate on moving through the lower body. And bringing the arms back down. Lovely. And then from here, we're going to float our feet up. So we're coming up into tabletop position. So we have our knees directly over our hips, and we've got a 90-degree angle at the back of the knees. We're going to breathe in to prepare. And as we exhale, we're going to straighten one leg out. So we're reaching the heel towards the bottom of the mat. And we're just going to hover a few inches off the floor, thinking about squeezing through the core. And we're just going to hold that for a few seconds. Really trying not to let the back arch or lift away. We're trying to keep this nice neutral spine the whole time. Breathing in to bring it back. And the same to the other side. So exhaling, straightening that leg out, reaching the heel towards the bottom of the mat. And we're just going to hover a few inches. And again, we're going to hold that. Now, this bent knee is naturally going to want to start coming in towards your chest, but I want you to try and keep it stacked over your hip because that helps to keep the core engaging the entire time. And we're going to do one more each side, so straightening that leg out, squeezing through your core, thinking about keeping your back nice and neutral so you're not lifting away from the mat, keeping the knees stacked over the hips. Final side, breathing out as we extend. Just holding for a few seconds. Breathing in to bring it back. And then we're just going to lower the feet back down onto the floor. And from here we're going to come into a little glute stretch. So we're going to cross one ankle over the opposite knee. Now if this feels like enough of a stretch, or if your back's a little bit sore today, you can just push that knee away from you. Or we can lace the hand behind the supporting knee and ankle, bringing that knee and ankle in towards your chest. And again, just feel free to play about with the position of your foot and your ankle just so that you feel that good stretch through the glutes. And then lowering it back down. And we'll uncross and we'll do the same on the other side. So crossing the opposite ankle over the opposite knee. And again, if this is enough of a stretch, you can just push that bent knee away from you if you can feel it through the glutes. Otherwise, we want to lace the hand behind the supporting leg, bringing the knee and ankle in towards your chest. And just really imagine breathing into it, sinking down, letting those muscles relax. And then just bringing the feet back down onto the floor. And from here, we're just going to hug the knees into chest and just rock from side to side. So really massaging out through the lower back. And then we're going to take our knees to the top of our kneecaps and uncross your ankles if they were crossed. And we're going to lead the knees out in a big circle. So you're leading them away from the body so your arms are straight, then bringing them back in. And we're just circling the knees round. So this adds in a little bit of a rotation for the lower back. And just helps to loosen up around the hips as well. And then we're going to change direction, so circling the other way. You might find this side feels less natural because we always choose our favourite side first. So the back might be a little bit tighter on this side. And then just bringing it back into the centre. Hugging the knees into chest again. And this time we're going to curl the head and chest up And we're bringing the forehead as close as you can to your knees. Don't worry if you can't touch them. Thinking about bringing the belly button down, so we're really curving through the spine. Trying not to crank your neck as well here. We're not kind of thinking about just pulling the head towards the knees for the sake of it. It's more about trying to really create this curve through the back. So it's more about the back than bringing the head to the knees. And then we're going to slowly lower back down. We're going to straighten the arms and legs up overhead. And reaching through fingers and toes, really stretching through the body. And we can add a little bit of an extra reach here. So reaching one toe further away. So you're kind of almost hitching one hip up and doing the opposite with your arms. So you're reaching through the body and just reaching from side to side. Adding in a little bit of a twist for the spine. And then we're going to circle the arms out in a big circle. And we're going to bend the knees, bringing them into chest. And then we're going to go again. So straightening arms and legs out, reaching straight overhead. Circling them out, arms out in a big circle, hugging the knees into chest. And then we're just going to lower the feet back down onto the floor. And we're going to pull ourselves up into sitting. So feel free to come up any way that's comfortable. And then we're just going to sit however is comfortable here. So you can sit kneeling or you can sit cross-legged, bring your legs out in front, whatever works best for your knees and your hips. I want to think about sitting really nice and tall though, so we're really lifting out of the lower back, so we're not slouching down, but thinking about a piece of string on the top of your head, lifting you up, lengthening through the spine. And we're going to take a big deep breath in through the nose and out through the mouth. And in through the nose and out through the mouth. And we're going to reach fingertips up overhead again, riding in that little side bend, so you can keep your hand on your legs if you want to, or you can walk them across the floor, thinking about keeping this hip anchored down. And then uncurling, reaching fingertips up, and then walking the hand out, or keeping it in contact with the floor, the leg, and then bringing it back up to center. And then we're just going to tuck the chin down, and again, really thinking about pulling through the lower back here. So we're really trying to stretch. I'll just turn to the side. Really trying to stretch through the lower back, letting it stretch away from the body, bringing it back up, arching through the lower back, and then just bringing it back to neutral, and then just doing any final movements that feel good for the body here. Like do a couple of shoulder rolls, moving the head from side to side, just whatever you feel like your body needs right now. Lovely. And thank you so much for joining me today, and I'll see you again really soon for the next class.